Welcome back. Sorry. Hi everyone, welcome back. Hope the camera's not too crooked. Today I'm here to do, I've got my questions, but it's the 16 questions tag, Witchy Questions Tag. So I've got all the questions and some of the answers. So I'm just gonna kind of start. Do you have a witchy name and how did you come by it? No, I do not. Where are you located? What brought you to that area, or were you born there? I live in Texas. I was born here. I don't currently live in the same town I was born in, but I live in a small town that's about an hour away from the one I was born in. Do you wear a special amulet or jewelry for spell work? I do sometimes, but it's not the same one every single time. It's usually different ones. I have a variety of pagan jewelry, and I wear whichever one I feel like I need for that spell or ritual. I don't do spells very often. What's your favorite space or place? I'm honestly not sure. I'm assuming it's obviously meaning, in regards to like witchiness, not just like whatever, I'm sorry if y'all can hear the TV. My father likes it really loud and it's right outside this room and he will not turn it down. I usually work in my room because I've tried working outside before and like in my backyard, and I've done that on 2 occasions, and one was on Samhain, and these kids, not like little bitty kids, probably like 10 to 12, went up to my fence and started staring in and yelling things at me, even after I politely asked them to leave me be. And another time, my mother kept coming out and interrupting me, and she let the animals out there, and the dog and the cat kept like running at my feet and almost tripped me once, and I almost crashed into a little stand that I had my candles on, and I was like, yeah, this is not working. So, and since my parents and really nobody except people on YouTube and a couple people I pimp out with know I'm a witch, it's kind of difficult to like explain, what exactly are you doing? Why do you have all these candles? What's with this? What's with that? What are you doing? When people can see you. What's your favorite stone or crystal for magical workings? Okay, for magical workings, I've got a couple examples here. I like the traditional clear quartz. This is just a point, like a wand. I like that because you can kind of program it to do whatever you want. And if my chair would quit moving. I like that for that reason. But I also like amethyst for meditation. This is just a small little kind of chunk, I guess. I like it for meditation and to help with my migraines. Although lately I've also, another favorite is calcite. I'm just really drawn to it. This is honey calcite. It's kind of a big piece. Not a huge, but it's decent sized. And lately I've been very drawn to selenite, which this is a heart that I have, selenite heart. And then also, this is septarian, I think is how you pronounce it. It's really pretty. You can kind of see around. It's got a price tag on it, so I don't want y'all to really see that, but it's really pretty. It's kind of a funny shape. When I was at the store the other day, I've been wanting a piece of this for a while, and I was at the store the other day and saw this one, and I saw this one first, and they had several that were this shape, and I really connected to this one. And then I saw they had like a crystal ball, a small one, not huge, but not tiny. And I really connected with that one, but I decided to get this one because I connected with it first, so. And it didn't hurt that it was a few dollars cheaper. Not that that's like, my main focus, but whatever. How long have you been practicing? And how did you come to this path? Bit of a complicated answer, but I've been pagan pretty much my whole life and just didn't really realize it until I was about 9 years old when I was introduced to paganism. So I've been pagan 17 years, officially, like after I was introduced to the term, I was like, oh yeah, that's what I believe. Because I grew up Christian, but I guess I've been practicing about 15 years, but not solidly. when I was introduced to paganism is when I was introduced to witchcraft, and I, started practicing pretty straight away. But then, when I was about 12 to 14, I got this like, I need to be Christian again because I'm gonna go to hell feeling. Because like no one really knew but my best friend at the time, who was the one who introduced me. Her father was a high priestess. I mean, a high priest. Obviously not a priestess, that's the woman. He was a high priest, and he had taught her some, and she went and told me about it. And I have a bit of a video. I have a video on this from the YouTube Pagan Challenge 2016. But yeah, and so she told me some about it, and I was just really connected with it, and so we started practicing together. But then she ended up moving away, and I just felt really alone, and I felt like I need to go back to Christianity. I just felt, I don't know, but really still, I was still pagan. I just was feeling, I don't know, I just felt lost by myself, I think, and I wanted to connect with other people of the same religion. So I thought, well, I need to go back to Christianity. I didn't know any other pagans, and I don't really know what I was thinking. So I tried doing that for a couple years, but I just never really connected to it again, and it felt wrong, and but I really tried to stick it out, and like it just wasn't me. So I went back to paganism and back to being a witch, and it just, ever since, it's been right. So I guess I went back when I was maybe 13 and a half or 14. Yeah, do you have a deity, god, or goddess, and how did you connect with them? For a while, I was saying that Anubis was my patron, and Bast was my patroness. And yes, I used patroness instead of matron because matron means old woman, and I don't like to think of like a goddess as like an older woman, so I say patroness. And so, but I felt like it was really more of me like wanting a god and goddess and trying to like force the connection there because I really liked those two. And after a while, I kind of realized it was more me trying to force that connection. And I mean, I did connect to them, but I felt like it was more, me trying to reach out to them and not so much them coming to me. And so I was like, okay, thank you, and I'm going to let you go now because you're obviously not coming to me. It's me coming to you more. And so now I don't really have a god and goddess or a special deity that I work with. I'm kind of starting to believe, I think, that the gods and goddesses it's not so much that, it's hard to put into words, but it's not that there's not gods and goddesses, but I think it's more of like a divine energy source or something sort of like that. I'm not really solid on my beliefs on that right now because I'm kind of transitioning from believing that there's gods and goddesses and like that we view them in human archetypes to viewing it more as like one big source that humans just see as gods and goddesses, but they're not actually gods and goddesses. That humans just break it down like that because it's easier for us to understand it that way. If you know what I mean. Anyway, that's kind of rambling now. What's your favorite incense or smudge? This is going to be kind of a unpopular opinion, but I don't really like incense. And it's not just because I have asthma, although that is part of it, but if I burn really smoky ones or them for too long, they do bother my asthma. But it's more about, you pick up the stick and it's not burning and you smell it. Ooh, it smells good, right? But then you light it and it smells like smoke. And I do not like the smoke smell. And you can still smell the smell it's supposed to smell like, right? But to me, because my nose and my senses in general are so sensitive, I just smell the smoke. And it's like, well, if I wanted smoke, I'd just like light my house on fire. I don't like the smell of smoke. So I'd start smoking or something, no, not me. No, thank you. But my favorite smudge is Palo Santo. It doesn't smoke a lot, at least not the one I have. And so I feel like it doesn't, you're not just smelling smoke. But I don't use it a ton. I only when I feel I need to. And it's expensive too, so. Have you ever had to clear a space of a negative entity? A negative entity? No. But a negative energy, yes. I think I've also told a little bit about this, but I have a family member who is just very negative. It's just like, it's not necessarily that she's always like trying to be negative, but just her persona, it's like she exudes negative energy. It's just like how she is. I don't know if she's unhappy, if she's just unhappy with herself, with the world, with what. But it's like, you know, there's those people who are just like upbeat and peppy and happy all the time. It's sort of like that, but she's just negative, just exudes the energy. And because I'm an empath, it's like I soak it up. And it's like she could leave the house, be gone, you know, and it's like I can feel it. I can feel it in the house. And I don't have a choice but to live with her because of my situation with the chronic illness and not being able to have a job and having someone to have to take care of me and just all this just big situation that I can't control. And so I don't have a choice, but I don't really have much of a choice there. But anyway, so yes, I do have to clear the space occasionally. So what's your favorite witchy show or movie? I really like Harry Potter, and I really like that movie, The Skeleton Key. I really like that one. And then these next two, I'm not exactly sure. They're not like super witchy, but they are a little bit. I like Buffy and the show Once Upon a Time. I don't know. Some people might sort of consider those witchy. Some people might not. I don't know. Depends on your view, I guess. What do you do to help raise energy before spell work? I cleanse myself and put on music. I like music. Do you see yourself helping others magically? Sometimes I think I would really like to. I think it'd be amazing to like open up a shop and sell like candles and soaps and bath products and incense and herbs and, you know, oils and all kinds of stuff that I make. And then also bring in like other products that maybe other people have made or that are just kind of like the 7-day candle stuff that's sort of like, I don't want to say generic, but like, you know, that's just kind of like popular, that kind of a lot of people use. But then like my kind of rational side kicks in and like, that's never gonna happen. You know, like with your illness and the fact that like it takes like a bunch of energy just to like make a YouTube video. Like if you can't even like do that and you can't even like hold down a job and you're like at a pain level of like an 8 out of 10 on a good day, yeah, that ain't never gonna happen. What is your preferred form of divination? Sorry to be such a downer, by the way. Just being honest. What is your preferred form of divination? I like pendulums, although I don't do divination a whole lot. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't do divination a whole lot. I don't feel it's really necessary. But I do like pendulums. I'd like to get into tarot cards, but they're real hard to learn for me. What element do you work with most? When I read this question, my automatic answer was fire because I use candles. But then when I thought about it more, I was like, well, maybe it's actually earth because I use crystals and I use herbs that I grow in my garden plus herbs that I buy. So maybe it's actually earth. Or maybe they're sort of, fire and earth are sort of about equal. I'm not sure. So I really enjoy working in my garden. I don't have a garden year round because during the winter there's not really much you can grow. Although it doesn't get super cold here in Texas, but still, I mean, it is cold enough that you can't really grow much. But during the spring and summer and stuff, I do grow a garden, and I've got one starting now, and I love growing stuff. It's a lot of fun, and I love being able to use it in my kitchen witchery and in like I make like oils and stuff for my bath products, and like by infusing them, you know, and then I use them in just kind of like regular type witchery. What? Oh, I already did that one. if you threw a party, which of the YouTube witches would you invite? Kind of a weird question, but I guess pretty much everyone except the drama llamas. What are your witchy goals for the new year? New Year's already started because this was started a few months back, but I think basically to try to deepen my spirituality, because the last few months or so, I guess 2 or 3 months, I've been on kind of a slump. I just haven't felt good and I haven't felt like really doing anything witchy, and I don't cast spells a lot because I believe they should be kind of a last resort, but I haven't really been just connecting with my spirituality or really doing a whole lot. And I'd also like to start getting to work on my working book of shadows and getting a bunch of information together and working on that, which it's going to be a slow process, but I'd like to start getting all my information together and putting it in my working book of shadows, and then maybe by the time next year comes around, I'll be able to work on my final book of shadows. So yeah, that was question 16. And I hope you all enjoyed this video. Please comment, rate, and subscribe, and I will see you all later. Blessings!